Burning current time in the flesh. Here comes the algebra. Shut up, Mitchell. Sorry, Matthew.
All right, and it's burning current time.
Mr. Burns coming at you live for the last episode of the year. In terms of your quote unquote social distancing learning, whatever do they want to call it? I don't know. So we're doing rockets, and we're gonna be doing a rocket launch. There's a videos to watch. You can watch the rockets go up. There's also like instructions on how to do some of the rocket launch stuff, and how to do the work. But I'm just gonna do a quick tutorial on how to do it. So let me just pull this up real quick. So this is what you're gonna see when you pull up for Google Classroom, this rocket launch data. So you can see these are the students who completed a rocket and we were able to successfully fire off. Down at the bottom, in order to figure out how high the rockets went, you'll have to do a simple trigonometry. Trigonometry has to do with triangles. Crazy, I know, but usually that's like a 10th grade concept, but we're kind of going to use a little bit of trigonometry this time, and then we're going to figure out how high our rocket went, and then we're going to kind of figure out this hypotenuse using the Pythagorean theorem that we learned from last week. So what we're going to be focusing on is we're going to be focusing on the TOA part of SOHCAHTOA, which stands for tangent of the angle, the opposite and the adjacent sides of the right triangle. So we stood approximately 150 feet away from the launch site, working in, I'm not going to read the rest of that, I'm going to be real honest. So how do you figure out how high a rocket went? Well, you're going to use Desmo Scientific Calculator on your Chromebook. You're going to press the tan key. Okay, it's this key right here that says tan. Okay, so then you're going to take a point from the data set. So here's your data set. I'm not going to use any points from this data set because you're going to figure it out. So sorry, not sorry. These little asterisks mean degrees, so this is going to be all in degrees. So I'm going to use like a random number like 64 degrees. So I'm going to hit tan. I'm going to type in 64, and I'm going to close the parentheses. Okay, then the next step says multiply the distance from the launch. Okay, we said we stood approximately 150 feet away. So once you get that, you're going to multiply this by 150. So I get 370 or 307.5455762. We're going to round to the nearest tenth. Okay, so I know I'm standing 150 feet away. This is Mr. Kern standing 150 feet away because I was standing back here recording. So what you're going to do is then you're just going to take, and you're going to make this 307.5. Okay, and you are now going to solve for this hypotenuse that we labeled x. So if you remember from Pythagorean theorem, it's a squared plus b squared equals c squared. So 150 could be your a squared plus your b squared, which is 307.5. Okay, you'll square those, add them together, equals c squared, which will be this, and you just solve for our Pythagorean theorem the way we showed you last week. I'm not going to go into in depth on how to do that. You can go back and look at the other YouTube video to figure out how you solve for c squared, how you get actually just c, just this distance right here. So what you are going to do is you're going to just create a Google Doc, type in all your answers, and submit it to me and Mr. Kern. Unfortunately, my classes didn't shoot off any of the rockets, but Mr. Kern's class did. So we have all the data, and I think it's just a cool way to end the year. Other than that, that's going to be due May 28th, right, Mr. Kern? Due May 28th is the last date to turn anything in. Okay? So make sure you get all that stuff in by May 28th because grades are going to be due, I think, June 1st, if I'm not mistaken. Okay? So, again, just put all your answers in a Google Doc, send it to me and Mr. Kern. We'll grade it and call that an afternoon. All right? Huh?
Call it a year.
Call it a year. It's been real. Signing off. Last episode. Burning Kern time.
Have fun in 9th grade.
Yeah, enjoy 9th grade. Are these the bloopers at the end of the movie? Like you see it all the time.